In this video, we're going to take a look at an edited version of one of my monthly live Zooms that I do on the first Monday of the month with my Stanton Moore Drum Academy members. So as a member, you get to participate in this Zoom and ask me questions and interact, and sometimes I'm demonstrating on the drums. Sometimes we're talking about more career stuff or some of the practical issues that we encounter as drummers. So as a member of the Drum Academy, you get access to all of my educational materials, all the courses, the ebook, and all of the different PDFs that I write, but you also get access to me through the forum and also in these monthly Zooms that we do. If you want to join Stanton Moore Drum Academy, I'm offering a special rate, and you can take advantage of that by just clicking the link in the description. So I hope you enjoy taking a look at this, and I hope that you come away with some useful information. Please don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit that like button and drop a comment or a question, because I'm always looking at those. So thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy.
You mentioned the little rubber things that you put on the end of sticks and how that doesn't fit all sticks. I have a question about sticks. Over the years, I've settled on Vic Firth 5A wood tip, very common. And the reason why I settled on this stick is because I like the way it sounds on my pasty cymbal collection.
Yes.
And over the years, I've discovered, because I started many years ago, I used to play plastic tips, and then I played the wood tip on the pasty cymbals, and I'm like, wow, that sounds much better. And then, so I made these decisions over the years. I had mostly these in my bag, but I also have a couple. These are hickory, I guess. Other than having a signature stick or something like that, what goes into your choice? Like, do you use different sticks on different gigs, or what goes into that decision making process?
Yeah, that's a great question. And for many years, I was using only my signature stick. So it's got a very fine tip, and I designed it that way so that I can get way up here on the tip to get a very focused cymbal sound, and then I can get back here on the fatter part of the tip to get a bigger cymbal sound. And then I made sure that the shoulder of the stick still had some weight to it for all the snare drum stuff that I do, second line stuff, rudimental stuff, whatever it is. But then I also wanted the stick to be a little longer, so it's 16¼ so that, because I play so many different types of gigs, so I want a good cymbal sound if I'm swinging out, and I'll choke up on the stick maybe a little bit, but if I'm playing a heavier situation, I can choke back and get more leverage. I don't need to switch to a heavier stick. This is made out of hickory. And then I had them making me some out of maple, because they're a little lighter and they had an even more focused, kind of drier, more focused sound on the cymbal. Maple does. But nowadays, I use, when I'm swinging out and trying to play quieter, I use the Vic Firth AJ6, which has a really tiny tip. But what I love about them is that the body of the stick is about the same diameter as my signature stick, which is about like an 85A. It's a little thinner than a 5A. And they're a little shorter, but you see how much they taper, and then they got a tiny, tiny tip. So that gives me a much quieter sound. Now, all that said, I had to really shed with these to develop the control that I need. And Herlin Riley has come and sat in and grabbed some of these sticks, and he'll start playing. And if you're not used to them, they can feel kind of like broken sticks. And I love them for trying to play quieter, but you don't want to use them if you're trying to play heavier. Now, all that said, when I am playing heavier now, I've been working on this Corrosion of Conformity record, and I don't think I have any in this stick bag, but I had Vic Firth send me a bunch of sticks. Knowing that I like my stick, they sent me some things to try. And what I wound up on was the Extreme 5B. They feel similar to a 5A, and my stick is kind of like an elongated 5A. So they feel a little bit like mine, but they're beefier, a little longer, and a little bit thicker, but similar shape. So they don't feel completely foreign. They just feel like a beefier version. So when I do things like go to South America and play 5 gigs in Chile and Argentina and all that with Corrosion of Conformity in January, I'm probably going to use those sticks. So now I used to always use my stick, but now if I'm playing a lot quieter, I'll use the AJ6. If I'm playing a lot heavier, I'll use the 5B Extreme.
To piggyback off this question, what's your shelf life of the tips of your sticks? Like, because I have a lot of problems with the stick will be fine, but the tips chip.
Yeah, so that's a great question. Really, for me, my sticks, I guess, the tips don't chip as much as the shoulder starts to just get apple cored. You know, so I picked up a bunch to kind of show you. This one's not even that bad, but it's starting to apple core and right up in here. But notice that the tip is still intact. But they'll get much more apple cored right here. And then they'll start splintering, and then that's when I kind of got to get rid of them. But for me, the tips in general usually don't go before all of this starts to get whittled down and starts to splinter a little
Just
bit.
a note to anybody, any of the older drummers, I'm starting to get arthritis in my hands. And the drum shop over here in the Bay Area said some of the drummers switched to the 5Bs from the 5A. And I'm finding it's much easier for me because it's harder for me to close my hand. And a little thicker stick has made the world of difference.
Yeah, man. And so since we're on that topic, you know, with arthritis, luckily I don't have that yet, and I hope I don't wind up getting that. But I know that I was buying Voltaren for my mom, and she was really liking it for the arthritis, like in her knees. Has anybody tried that on hands? Does that help with arthritis in your hands?
Kind of, sort of. I use it sometimes, but I go to my chiropractor and he does dry needling.
Yeah, acupuncture also is helping.
Yeah, it helped. I mean, it's gotten rid of really bad tendonitis problems that I've had in my arm.
Chuck's raising his hand.
Yeah.
And I have used some of that similar creams on it, and it does work. It just doesn't go very deep.
Yeah. Huh.
And
Okay.
at the risk of being one of those obnoxious people, I went a plant-based diet about 25 years ago, and the health differences were amazing. And it's really kept the arthritis to a minimum.
So one thing I wanted to say, and this comes from a different perspective, but in hockey, the hockey sticks have gotten skinnier and skinnier. A lot of them are really super, super light now. And the thing that I read from some of the Chicago Blackhawks, some of their staff, is they started noticing a lot of players were getting tendonitis and arthritis in their hands. And so they started to realize that if they made the stick thicker with tape, then all of a sudden people stopped having that. So I tried that. It actually did help. So from that perspective, if you're grabbing like this, as opposed just that little bit for us, since we have such a repetitive motion thing, that actually is like probably a really, really smart thing to up the size. Then you got to worry about being loud, but that's something that is a real thing. And if you're using too thin of sticks for your hands, that can exacerbate the tendonitis and the arthritis.
Oh,
and
wow.
I got this thing, which I'll have to look up the name of it. But
Those things are awesome.
yeah, it's actually really cool, and you can use it and expand it. Like you can use it on your legs too. So it's a roller you can use for your.
Oh, okay.
A really great hack, which I've learned a lot from climbing, because climbing's all about like hand strength and tendon strength in the hands. For preventative measures, you know, strengthening your hands and your tendons is the best. But a really easy way to do it is just go buy like 10 pounds of the cheapest rice you can find, throw it in a bucket, and all you do is just like reach your hands into the rice, and you just like grip the rice and squeeze it through your hands. You just do that for like, set a timer for like 2 minutes. You just do that, and it's really good for building building all the little muscles in your hands, and also most importantly is the tendon strength. And I've used that. I've been doing that for years, and with great benefit. So that's a really great hack for developing strength to prevent injury.
Wow. Okay. That's a great tip. Thank you, Nick.
Now, I have arthritis. I also have neuropathy and trigger finger, and my grip isn't what it used to be. So of course I moved to a fatter stick. I went from like a really thin jazz stick to Steve Gadd's stick, which is also a little shorter. So it's a lot easier on me. I take a lot of B vitamins for the neuropathy. But I get this wax stuff. This is a Zildjian. I also have the Vic Firth, and I used to use just the regular sex wax. And I gum up my sticks to death. Oh. And because I can't grip them as tightly as I used to.
Right.
But they stick to my hands. So I can just, of course, you don't want to scratch your nose, because then you get it stuck to it, which is a problem. But it helps tremendously. And it's a lot easier. I've tried the wraps, and I've tried the thing that where you tie the stick to your hands, and I just put the stickum stuff on, and then I can actually walk away, and the sticks come with me, and it's really changed my life.
Thanks for tuning into this discussion. Hopefully you got some useful information out of it. So please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and hit that like button, drop a comment or ask a question. I'd love to hear from you. And thanks for watching. See you down the line.